This week on This Too Shall Pass, raising a child takes a village.
Where's the village?
Where is the village?
They left it back in 1965.
I don't even think grandparents are the same nowadays as they were before.
They're not.
Is missing and needed, and I don't think I understood the saying it takes a village until I started having kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what brought me to you and made me relate to you, because I have an 18-year-old, but I also have a 2-year-old, almost 3.
Right.
And I'm watching you do it with 5, and I'm overwhelmed with my 1.
So you feel like, even though you have 2 kids, that your mom journey for these 2 kids was completely different. Welcome to the This Too Shall Pass podcast. Trust me, I know life can be. This is an inclusive space for our stories and lessons to be heard and learned from without judgment, because this too shall pass. Welcome back to This Too Shall Pass. I, of course, am Ariel. I wanted to start it off by just asking, how are you? How have you been? Because my life has been a tornado. But I do want to say sorry for the large gap in time and break. We love you guys, but sometimes life is lifing, but we are back. I did want to say thank you for all of the support here on Instagram as well as on YouTube and everywhere where you can stream and hear us, whether that is Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. And we really appreciate your support. Please don't forget to leave us a comment and a 5-star review and let us know how we're doing, or if you have any questions along the way. I'd love to hear from you. So let's start with an Apple review. I have one from MT Gravis. I hope I'm saying that right. In September, he said, "I can't wait for more." I really appreciate that. We are trying. That's why I said we're going to keep up with you guys and we're doing our best to stay consistent. He also wrote, "I love your content both here on the podcast and on Instagram. You are the chicken to my soup." Also to my soul, for all the moms who are just trying to do the right thing for everyone. But I feel they are, but us moms constantly feel that we are failing. Bravo. Thank you for having a voice. That is mainly why I even got on social media, is because I just wanted an outlet. I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart, if I had more of a stronger, I guess, openness or relatability in my own household or with my parents or a close group of cousins, I probably would not be on social media. I started this journey basically just as a diary for myself and my kids. And I'm really happy you guys were able to relate to me and hang around and follow us and show as much love and support as you have, because I definitely did not get on social media to become anybody. I really just did it as a personal outlet for me. And I didn't think that many people would relate to me as they have. So I do want to give my thank you to you guys. I would not be here without you guys. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the support. Let's go ahead and jump into her voice, her story. Today, I'm going to shout out Orlando Parks and Recs. They are the chicken to my soup, because they are a local recreational program here in Orlando, Florida. I was going to shout out the exact center, but then you guys would know exactly where my kids go to camp every time schools are closed, and that would not be safe for me or them, even though I know and hope you guys' intentions are always to love them and support them and myself. I just have to, keep my head on a swivel. But Orlando Parks and Recs is a organization that helps low-income or single families for summer camps, after-school programs. Like now, they're on Thanksgiving break. They're out for the whole week. I have to still work. I have to still, do normal day-to-day things. They call me. They check up on us. We even went last Saturday for the food drive, and they donated a bunch of food for us for Thanksgiving. They do it for the public. If you have a recreational area in your city or state, just look into it. A lot of cities get it from grants through the state, and they do help a lot of low-income families or single families. And you can still, have a decent income or be married and still go there. It just gives you a lot of flexibility and opportunities for your kids, like sports and after-school programs. My girls have both done the recreational cheer. They do competitive. They travel. All the field trips are free. All you got to do is drop your kid off and bring food. And as a mom, that is like music to my ears. They're a really great group of people. I love the location that I found, and I wanted to shout them out and say thank you, because they've helped me more times than you can know, and the schools are always closed. So I am here today with Carla. I want to say hello.
Hello.
Carla she is the infamous Carla to me. She runs her own podcast with Pivot with Purpose. That is actually where I even jumped into for the first time in this whole podcast world. And with time, she's come someone very important to me and someone I love near and dear, and probably the only adult friend I've been able to make. So appreciate you for that. Yeah, I struggle in adulthood making friends.
It's a thing.
Yes, it is.
We have to go outside and actually have time to make friends. So that's like really hard.
I guess that pulls us into this episode about no village. Mm-hmm. So I guess introduce yourself. If anyone doesn't know Carla, you've been living under a rock, but I am, for the sake of this podcast, going to act like you don't know who she is. She's going to introduce herself, tell you a little bit about herself, then we're going to jump into this episode.
Well, technically, it'll be my first time on your show.
Yes, it is. I've done 2 with you. Yes. But she's always behind the scene for mine, so I don't take it like she's never been here. She runs Idea to Launch. That's how you see everything that I'm doing here in this podcast, and she is a beast in this podcast world.
So technically, would be considered executive producer of the show, of not just this show, but many other shows that are out there. No, for sure, in totality, Holding Court, a bunch of different shows that we work on. But that's what I do. I do all podcasting. Mm-hmm. I launch them, we produce them, we monetize them. And when we did your show, which probably a lot of people are listening to this, saw the clip with Pivot.
Yes.
And where you first came on the podcast. Yes. And from there, we just knew you had to come on. So I said, I have to do something. This show has to be happening. And shout out to you for showing up.
Thank you.
And for everyone listening, this is a lot of hard work. And you have 37 kids with 58 sports and 127 teachers and so many things going on in your life. So to show up and book record like we're doing.
Yes.
And honestly, my schedule has hindered. We probably would have been here a lot sooner. So I'll take some of the responsibility for that. And I'm working on, finishing the stuff at the house, because we are here at Hi Hello Labs, which is here in Orlando. Yes. Every time you see all of this. But they got shit going on too.
Yep.
So we have to do from her schedule to my schedule to the studio schedule to the kids' schedule.
Right.
It's so much. But we're making it happen. And 2024 is looking litty for this Too Shall Pass. And you'll see more from merch, from doing live events, from Patreon to get exclusive. But they also have your subscription. So shout out to them for being here. And I'm just always behind the scenes. I like behind the scenes.
Thank you. Well, you look beautiful on the scene as well. But for this episode, we are going to jump into no village. So I guess we've all been raised with the saying, it takes a village, raising a child takes a village.
Where's the village?
Where is the village?
They left it back in 1965.
I don't even think grandparents are the same nowadays as they were before.
They're not.
I don't see that many ice cream trucks. I don't see.
Where is the ice cream truck in the neighborhood?
The candy ladies.
Where's the flip lady where you can buy the flip at their house? That was the candy lady.
Yep. Yeah. I don't see them anymore. I don't know if it was a dying dynasty. I have no idea, but it is definitely something I feel is missing and needed. And I don't think I understood the saying it takes a village until I started having kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what brought me to you and made me relate to you, because I have an 18-year-old, but I also have a 2-year-old, almost 3.
Right.
And I'm watching you do it with 5, and I'm overwhelmed with my 1. When my 18-year-old, village was there.
Right.
Mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, like everybody was around. She would leave for weeks and go travel.
Oh, wow.
And once my dad passed away and like my dynamic changed with my family as I got older and you put boundaries up, it's like, oh, wait, we can't just do whatever we want. No. And they just kind of backed away, and I literally have no one.
So you feel like even though you have 2 kids, that your mom journey for these 2 kids was completely different?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Completely different. And I don't know if it is for you with Andre versus Owen being 13 years apart?
Yeah, they're 12 and a half years apart. With Andre and Haley, I would say I had them pretty close together. They're like 2.5 years apart. I do feel like the support was more there, but I don't know if it was there because the people surrounding me at that time thought I was ignorant because I was a child. I was only in 10th grade. So I don't know if they were helping more in the sense of control. So as I got older and I got more stable and I started to put up boundaries, and it was like, oh, okay, here, do it by yourself. Yeah. So they took it as I didn't appreciate them when I did. I just wanted to try to grow on my own, and it was always taken as disrespect.
I think so, because I was 18 and there's like a baby having a baby.
Yep, a baby having a baby. Yeah.
And the second that I was like, you're not going to be looking into my bank accounts. You're not going to be telling me what to do with my money or certain things that I wanted to do with her. It's like, no, she's not going to eat this or she's not going to go there or she's not going to watch X, Y, and Z. It became, there were problems there. But then I was also 18, 19, 20. And I was like, I want to go out.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang out. So I'm like, here. They're fine. Feed her McDonald's. It's fine.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I woke up and Andre and Haley were not in my room, especially Andre. I remember waking up numerous mornings thinking like I was on my big mom shit as a child. I was still in algebra and Spanish 1. But I thought I was somebody getting up early and looking into the bassinet or the crib. There was no baby.
Where was
my
the baby?
mom had come in my room 7 or 6 a.m. He was gone. He was already fed, changed, bathed, watching a show. So, I mean, it's not that I didn't appreciate it, but it's definitely completely different now. I actually feel like I can be respected as a mom with Owen. I know there was a lot of shame with Andre and Haley, like the daycares and school pickup. I'll never forget the stares.
Do you remember like them not treating you like a mom?
Yeah.
I was so young. I didn't relate to any mom.
Nope.
The teachers definitely look down at you as a teen mom.
They definitely
and
do.
I'm like, okay, but now I'm in my 30s. And I remember going to daycare recently. And I saw this girl dropping off her baby. She was so young. So young. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I did look like a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think like, oh, she don't know what she's doing. But I was like, I can see.
How young she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how they probably looked at me as well.
Yeah.
Like
I used to come in there all disheveled bags and diapers and kids. And I remember the teachers being like, oh, make sure you ask your mom to pay for the bill. And I'm like, I got it. And she was like, well, we have a parent-teacher meeting and this. And every time I showed up, no one ever thought like Andre's mom was there. They were like, I remember always getting, are you his babysitter? Are you his sister? And I used to be like, I wish, but no, I'm not. I'm the mom. But I
still get the sister thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happened to the village. I don't know what happened to the dads.
So I saw an Instagram
side of the family. That was a village too. Yeah. It's not just on the mom side.
So although they say it takes a village to raise a child, I just saw on Instagram, so I didn't come up with this. Something along the lines that it takes a village to support a mother to raise her child.
I would relate to that more.
Way more, because I don't need you to raise my kid.
Right.
Especially today. I'm 36 now, I'm getting old, my back hurts, everything is happening. But can you support me in order for me to be able to raise my child?
Yep.
You know?
In a healthy way. Yeah.
That's it. I don't need you to go and teach her anything or to keep her for weeks on end. I just need to be able to have a couple of breaks. Yeah. Sometimes can you just cook for me? Can you come over and have food? Or can you say, hey, I went ahead and did your groceries for you, but also Amazon Fresh is a thing. So you don't have to do that. Just little things that could help.
Yet, but I need to.
Amazon Fresh is so good.
I haven't tried it yet.
But you do Walmart.
I do Walmart.
But Amazon Fresh.
I'm going to try it.
Try it because the produce and the meats and the fruit, so good.
I'm going to try it. I just don't think my brain has caught up to Amazon equaling grocery store.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I think that was like, if someone told me, JCPenney's delivers food, I'd be like, great. Like I just
see Amazon does everything.
I know. My brain has not connected Amazon with the grocery store, but I'm going to try it.
Try it.
But I do think that the village is needed for the mom, and I think the old saying makes it more relatable to the kid. But I do think the village is more so for the mom and the mental health of the mom. And I don't think we want someone to come in, and I would love for someone to pay all my bills, but it's not there. I don't want someone to come in and pay all my bills or raise my kids. But the community and the tribe for a mom, I think, is very important. And I do know it's like a dying dynasty, and it's unrelatable now.
For you, I know that at times you can do, your oldest kids can stay with the younger kids, right? And you're like, I need to go to the store. I can't relate to that.
No.
I don't have anyone at home. Although I have an 18-year-old, she's not home. So it's just myself and my son. So sometimes I'm like, what do I do? The amount of money I have to spend on babysitters and nannies for me to be able to work. Yeah. To just go to a dinner. I just started talking to someone, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, I want to go to dinner. Right. Oh, I have to pay $60, $70 to do that.
And
like it's so expensive. Babysitters are not cheap. No. And where are the teenagers that want to work for $10 an hour?
I don't know. I think everyone's they can make money now on TikTok and Instagram, just opening stuff and showing videos or doing apps. So why would they volunteer to watch their neighbors' kids?
Are they really making money on TikTok, these 16, 17-year-olds?
A lot of them are, yeah. And on Twitch, they can play video games and they get paid to stream to play the game. Their mom bought them anyways for free.
I am going to pay you to come over and have free food, play with some. Like, come on. Because everybody that's older is no joke. It's like $20 an hour.
Yeah.
To hire someone to come do babysitting. Yeah. And it's like, it's really, really stressful. And traveling, when's the last time you were able to go somewhere?
I haven't. Kids? I've never. I can tell that to you. I don't have to think about it or remember. There has been no travel. The last time I went somewhere was around this time last year to Atlanta, and it was to a cheerleading competition, and it was absolutely terrible. We had a good experience for my daughter, and she performed for her team. But was it relaxing for me? No. We had to get up at 6 a.m., and there were drop-offs, and it was $197 to watch a 3-minute routine.
Stop.
And then we waited in line behind 3,000 people to even get in. You had to walk 2 blocks to the entrance and 2 blocks back. And it was $50 to park your car. And it was 3 days long.
I think we asked this question to you the first episode, like, who are you? And it's so hard to find an identity as a mom when we don't have time to figure out who we are, what we do. I don't know. I have been blessed enough, and we were talking about this before we got on, to, in the past couple of years, out of survival to work as hard as I have and for it to have worked, you know? Now I can afford to do certain things. But once you make it, you have to now sustain it.
Right.
So I'm trying to now sustain what I've made so I can pay for babysitters or a vacation or to be able to go to dinner.
Right.
And it's like, you're going through some things now that is going to force you to work even harder out of survival mode, which we've never been out of survival mode.
No.
For me, it's been 18, almost 19 years.
Yeah.
For you, it's now 16 years.
Yeah.
So it's like an even harder survival mode in order to get it done. And I feel like some people might be listening to this and saying, hey, how do I, when I don't have a village, when I don't know what to do, how do I progress and make money and do something on the side? I know how I do it, but you have more children.
Yeah.
And you continue to do either your subscribers tab, your merch, your set. So I see you sometimes selling hats. And I'm like, where did this hat come from? Yep. So can you tell us how you do that in order to be able to fund everything?
There's a downside to it because I think being a mom alone is stressful, whether you are married or divorced or a single mom, whatever phase of motherhood and postpartum, whatever. Motherhood in itself is hard to lose yourself in when you have to keep this little person alive and it all falls on you. But to then add in multiple kids and no support and no village, I don't lose myself just in my kids. I lose myself in my work. I lose sleep. I lose myself in community. I force myself to go to church, and sometimes that's the only day out of the week I even leave my house.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to. I don't have the time. I fall asleep at like 2 a.m. every night, and I'm up by 5 or 6. I run every day off 4 hours of sleep. You do have to get in survival mode, but the only bad thing about survival mode is that there's no break. No. And you can get lost in that as well. All I do is work 2 jobs, raise 5 kids. I'm constantly trying to see who needs to be picked up and still make sure they have a life. But it is more common than not that I'm not even just on the back burner. I'm not on the stove at all. I have no idea where I am. I know I'm going to wake up one day and maybe possibly regret it. I'm going to wake up one day and all my kids are going to be grown, and I'm going to hope that they at least remembered that I tried. But do I know that I'm doing the right thing? No. Do I know life is supposed to be this hard? No. But I just try to take what I can and what I have and pray about it and hope that I'm living just a normal life that they're not going to be screwed from. But survival mode looks like me working 2 jobs every day outside of social media and the world that social media has opened up for me. I am very grateful. But in the back of my mind, it always gives me a taste of not forever. So I keep going. I keep adding more because, people can wake up, whoever owns Instagram one day and just turn it off. And then what do I do?
Which is why, for me, podcasting and having your own business and a website and all that stuff, having it set up correctly, and it makes sense, and you need to have that because Instagram goes off all the time.
Yep.
But you asked 2 questions. You don't know if life is supposed to be this hard. And I don't think life is supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be this. We were dealt some cards for whatever reason to do this alone because there are fathers and there are families of these children that just aren't stepping up. There are good people
out there, yeah.
And I've seen them.
Yep.
Like, I think a lot of times, especially for me when I talk, whenever you talk on the topic of a deadbeat dad or being a single mom, they're like, well, you chose this life. Well, we didn't.
We didn't.
One, we sound bitter. We're not bitter. We're tired.
Right.
So is it supposed to be this hard? No. We were dealt those cards. Are you doing a good job? No, you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Those kids is funny. They be laughing. They smile. They are dressed. They look better than I've seen some rich kids that look raggedy, and they paid a lot of money for them clothes and still look raggedy.
Thank you.
You know, the kids look, they're fine, and you're doing a great job, and you can tell just by the way that you speak to them. I think they know.
Yeah.
That shit is hard.
Yeah.
You know, but outside of that, you're doing a good job. And it's probably moms saying the same thing. Am I doing a good job? Yes. Are your kids fed? Are they healthy? Are they happy? Do they play? Yes. Is it supposed to be this hard? No.
No, I don't think so.
No, but there are shitty people in this world. Really shitty. Like for me, my son's dad's like, we haven't seen him or spoken to him in almost a year. Why?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
And he's only 2. So that's half his life. Like that's.
People ask me, well, does he know who he is? No idea.
Yeah. Owen doesn't know either.
No idea. 3. That's why when we did the episode on Pivot, we're looking for stepdaddies.
Yeah.
And I've been telling them, like, if you are going to be in my life, know that what I'm looking for it to be serious is a father to my son. But I don't need that right now. It has to be the right one.
Yeah.
But when do we know it's the right one? Because I thought it was the right one when we had the baby.
Yeah. I have no idea. And that's another thing that keeps me out because it's the hesitation. But the hesitation and the over analyzing and the critical thinking and looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, I don't know if that's working either. But I know that I don't ever want to be in the situation that I'm in where I'm starting over with nothing again. I know I never want to be in that situation again. So I know it always causes me to like double look, double guess, second chance. Like we're going through the issue of moving right now. Like the way I ran those numbers over and over and over every day on like 5 spare sheets of paper and the number was the same, I still had to redo it. Redoing the food budget, redoing, you know, who I'm talking to, what's my circle looking like, evaluating the people around me. I hope it's not like a form of like control, but it's definitely
it's fear.
It's a lot of fear. It's a lot of fear.
I think money-wise, so for me, now it's a little bit harder. I've been an entrepreneur for 5 years. Wow. I don't know where. Sometimes I'm like...
Kudos to you. That's a big accomplishment in itself.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, well, you know what? It was a tad bit easier when I knew how much my check would be every week or every other week. So that was a thing. But the fact that you're even doing it. Yeah. So some people out there are like, well, they're terrible with finances. Right. A lot of people are terrible with finances. And I feel like that's one thing that you do very well.
Thank
you.
And
I'm glad that you highlight it because not only are your kids learning it, but you have an audience that's learning it as well, right? You have like, you hear spreadsheets and budget yourself. I don't care how much money you're making. I used to
a budget works for every income.
What I make today, I still was living great at 50,000. Yeah. At 40,000, I'm like, I was taking more vacations then.
Yep.
I was hanging out at the Holiday Inns with the pools and at the beach. I was chilling. I was at the club getting drinks.
Yep.
How? And now I'm like, I'm making a different amount. It's a different tax bracket, which the taxes is bullshit.
Yeah.
But which probably puts me right back to 30,000 a year after I'm done paying taxes. But even with that, you are helping other people.
Thank you.
And they're doing cheer. Some don't go outside.
Yeah.
Your kids go outside.
They do.
Some we gonna sit in here and play together. I'm your friend. And we don't do much, but you're doing what you have to do, and it's just like separating some time for you, mommy time.
Yeah, I'm still working on that, but I don't know. I don't know where the village has gone, but I do know that there is a loud and proud single mother community out there in the world, even on Instagram, and people are, I guess building communities in other ways, but I do know the physical present help has diminished a lot.
You know what would be really cool to do? Some type of like mom group where we take turns. We gotta vet y'all bitches, but a mom group where we can vet who it is and take turns having like a weekend.
I said 2 years ago I wanted to start like a single mom community, and like everyone in that community that lived there just rotates their kids.
Yeah,
they all go to this mom's house. She just had a baby and mop and vacuum.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
like a community, but I don't know how I would be able to legally separate and only accept single mothers, because then that would say they would say it was discrimination. But I would love.
Who's they? They can mind their business. No, I think you can start that in Orlando.
I want to start a group. Like maybe we can start off as a group. Like we just meet once a week, but then in that meeting, we say, this mom will watch these kids this week.
Yeah, and then you can find people to watch them and take turns, and everyone can have at least a weekend off a month.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really cool.
I'm gonna look into it.
And then like
what
we can
would
expand
call something like that?
I don't know.
Okay, the mom village.
The mom village.
I'm gonna look in 2024. I'm going to look into.
We could do like meetings. We could finally find someone to watch them 1 week in a month, and we all take turns, and then we could expand to other cities.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I think that'll be great.
I think this is awesome.
I'm gonna do it.
Stop making me come up with ideas.
We're gonna do this.
I think it's dope. Just 1 week in a month will make such a difference. Or even if you have to go to work, or you have a quick travel plan, it's like, can this mom watch? And you have, there's a group of women that's like, hey, I'm cool. Because me and Paola have a thing going on. I like to hang out during the day. She likes to hang out at night. I watch her daughter. She watches a song for me. Like, we have it down packed. But what if we had more of those?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Or some mom's going to school, or some mom only works nights. I think
we're gonna
like light bulb moment.
But let us know. Let her know.
Yes.
DK, this is my podcast. Yes. Let her know what you think about that.
So she needs some help. So it is a we need a village kind of episode. We need a village. I'm gonna put that on the damn shirt.
We need a village.
Protest about it, because it's ridiculous.
We were gonna talk about parenting oldest to youngest too.
It's definitely, like you said, when you said, oh, sometimes when you go to the grocery store, because Psalm is so young, he has to come with you, or you have to get a babysitter. Now, for me, that is different, but I still think it's laced with a little bit of guilt, because I never want Andre to feel like he has to be a dad. Or, oh, because there's no man here, I automatically depend on you. So even though you guys might think it's contradictory or however you say it, I do still ask Andre. He's never said no, thankfully. I have a godsend. I don't know what I'm going to do when he moves out and my oldest is Haley.
Where is he going?
That's going to be a problem. He wants to go to college. He wants to leave.
He better stay at UCF.
Leave for college. He wants to like go off.
They always say that, and it's time to leave, and he's like, well.
But I don't want to smush his dreams right now. I want to let him think, everything's open to him. We're going to see.
UCF is great.
Yeah. He might go there. Let's see. It depends on the programs. But I do have a lot of support in my home, like amongst my kids. But at the end of the day, they're still kids. So it's not always the best support or the most like tidy of helping. Like, they're going to feed Owen. But will they wipe down that counter or get the spaghetti off the floor that he flicked, or wipe that pee stain that he missed going to the bathroom? No. But did he go? Yes. Did he eat? Yes. But is there still food for you to pick up when you come home off the floor?
What about you as a mom with your temperament? Andre versus Owen. We heard his side of the story.
I think when Andre was younger, my temper was a lot shorter. I was very aggravated. I think I was really growing between me coming out of being a child and then being a mom at the same time. And I also know that me as a girl then, I will say I was a girl. I know I thought I was a woman, then I was not. As a girl then, my priorities were very different. My friends and who I went to school with were still very important to me. They were still a big piece of who I am. I can't say one person from childhood at that age of 17 to 18 that is like a close person that I talk to every day anymore.
Me neither.
So I try to lay that on my kids a lot. They say, the things you learn late, teach your kids early. I try to make it very important to my kids now. I love that you have friends. I love that they are important to you. But I need you to really stay focused on yourself, because 10 years down the line, I promise you, everyone in your math class that is so cool, 90% of the time, you'll never talk to them again.
I love to show Ayana like guys that were really cute in high school.
And how they look now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with their comb overs and their little mustaches and their dad bellies. I was like, oh my God, I skipped school for you. I should not have done that.
No, not at all.
Shouldn't have done that. So I know my temper as a younger mom was worse. I do feel like I still have a temper now with Owen, but the way I handle it is completely different.
Yes.
So I don't lash out and yell at Owen like I probably did with Andre. I don't, kind of just quit or give up or whatever. I used to just walk out of the room with Andre and just let him scream. I didn't hit him, but I was like, oh, he's having a tantrum. See you later.
I used to be
It's not my problem.
I did the hitting.
Yeah. I hit. Oh, no, I hit. But a lot of times with the tantrum, I would just walk away because it was too much.
No, recently I reconnected with someone from the past, and he said something to me out of nowhere that I really appreciated, because Psalm was running around, and he goes, I'm really proud of you. The patience and the way that you're handling him is so different from essentially 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And at first, I didn't feel it, but like an hour later, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying. And I remember Ayana would do certain things, my daughter, and I would lose my shit. But that's how I grew up. Yep. Screaming, hitting. There was always all this chaos. So I gave her that same chaos.
Yep.
And with
unintentionally. Yeah, it wasn't with malice or like bad intentions. You didn't know any better. You are definitely a product of your environment until you step outside and you educate yourself. The work that you do on yourself is personal. It's separate, because without that, the only thing you can do is relate it to how you were raised.
Right.
It's with no intention.
I think the financial stability also makes a difference.
Yeah.
And even though I'm still like on this go mode, at least I don't have to worry about, can I afford lunch at McDonald's?
Right.
You know, well, I didn't feed at McDonald's, Wendy's.
Yep.
I really don't like McDonald's.
I love Wendy's.
That
biggie bag $5 has my kids in a chokehold. McDonald's would never. The fact that they got rid of their dollar menu, I went there last week, and I was like, "Hey, do you have any 2 for $4s, 2 for $5s?" The lady said, "Check the app." I said, "Well, I'm in the driveway. Can you just
they do the whole app thing.
Check the app." I drove off.
Bye. I'll go to Wendy's.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Wendy's where they're going to tell me what's on sale. I didn't want to download McDonald's 4 gigabyte app onto my phone when I know I'm not going to use it.
No, why? I ate a Big Mac for the first time in Miami recently. Mm-hmm. It was great.
Yeah.
You've had a Big Mac before?
Big Mac is good.
Fat shit, but it was good. It was really good. But then I had breakfast and it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Breakfast, McDonald's, not for me.
I don't know. Mm-mm. Their quality has gone down ever since they got off the dollar menu, because I need me a 4 for $4 for $1 or 4 chicken nugget piece for $1. I don't want to pay $4.75 for Happy Meal. Sense. And then it has no toy anymore. Lost me.
You keep the toy and you have to buy 5 of them.
Lost me. Yeah, that's why I don't go. I go to Wendy's.
I saw recently you took them to IHOP, Denny's.
I did. We went to Denny's in the morning before church.
And you showed the bill to the kids?
Yes.
Hilarious.
And we broke it down.
And I love that.
They were shocked.
Good.
They were shocked.
I love that you did that.
That it was $95 for breakfast for 6 people.
6 people. Mm-hmm. You're doing the damn thing. Mm-hmm. You're doing
right before I went to the Lord, and then I still tithed after that.
I know that's right.
I still tithed after that.
I've been tithing. I tithe automatically, and I have to raise my tithing because it's 10%. I got to talk to my pastor, to somebody, because I don't know how I feel about the full 10% right now.
The Bible actually does not say that you have to tithe to get into the kingdom. He says tithe when you are comfortable and situated, and God does not judge you off your tithing.
I'm situated.
I am not. We are in boxes. Okay. But I know you're supposed to still pray through your good days and your bad days.
Right.
But actually, you will not be judged, heaven or hell, off tithing.
But can I tithe after taxes? Should it be? No, I think it's before.
I don't know if Uncle Sam and Jesus are like hand in hand. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta figure this out.
Or when they get it, but I just try to do it with an open heart, and I really give what I can. I don't know if I do the percentage things right, but I really do just give what I can at that moment that won't kill us.
There's times that I've given more than. I said, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I just gave that because it's automatic, but not once have I needed.
Right.
So it's working.
Yep, that's how I think about it. Yep.
Every time I swipe that card, it works.
I 100% agree. Let's move on to without judgment. I'm going to read this one. What would you do? My best friend is in a relationship with a guy who is no good for her. Okay, so this is a friend speaking about her friend. Mm-hmm. Ever since she's been with this guy, she's been pretty distant and isolated. Most of our friend group agrees that we need to have a talk with her, but we don't want it to feel like an attack. Should we even mention how we feel, or should we just let her come to us? Start that one. You have a friend. You don't know if the guy's doing anything wrong. You just know that when your friend got with this person, they've kind of iced you out, and it's never been like that before. Do you automatically think they're in the cupcake stage and really happy, or do you instantly go to, hey, I want to talk to you and make sure you're okay?
It's so hard because that's the first thing I thought of. Sometimes we get into relationships and we're having a good old time.
Yep.
I had sex in a long time. I've been fucking, you know?
Just singly her. To you guys and the Lord, just her.
It hasn't been much. But wait till I get to a real relationship. The
fact that she can put ing on the end means more than once. That is a plural action.
First of all, we manifested this weeks ago. And it happened right afterwards.
Well, my manifestation is not cleared yet. But continue.
I did it for the both of us. It was an experiment. So, you know, when you want to spend time with this person, you hang out.
Right.
And you just not talking to your friends as often, right? Because now you're hanging out with this person.
Right.
But there's also the fact that we have been in situations where we isolate ourselves pretty quickly because someone is making us isolate. So I would say maybe like talk to the friend more like, how has it been? What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Invite her with her man. So maybe you could see that what that interaction is. Maybe like, oh, it's Thanksgiving, Christmas time right now. So like Friendsgiving or a friend dinner at home.
Yeah.
And maybe you can kind of gauge it. But always stay open. I do have a friend that's very, if I don't like your man, I don't like your relationship, it is. It's Mandy. She's open about it. She's like, if I don't like your man and I don't like how it is, don't talk to me about it. Fuck your man, fuck your relationship. And I'd be like, well, damn. You are with something else. So I don't think you should approach it that way.
Yeah.
Because you just be there for them whenever they need you.
Yeah.
Not to your detriment. You know, if you can't come to me every 2 days about this fight and you got your ass beat and it's been now 3 years and you're still not leaving and putting me in the middle of it, I would have to set a boundary. But, you know, just stay open.
Yeah.
Listen. I think that just listen. And if you have a concern, then maybe ask a question or maybe be like, I have a friend that did this. What would you do? See what they would say?
Yeah. I mean, all the question really said is my best friend is in a relationship and a guy with a guy who was no good for her. So I wonder if they've already seen some actions from him. I wonder if just the isolation means he's no good for her. The person didn't really go into much detail besides saying now she's pretty distant and isolated. I know for me personally, I never switch up what type of friend I am depending on who you're dating. I am very consistent. I am very loyal and I hold steadfast and strong to that. So I probably will be the same friend that I've always been, even though you're in a relationship. The only thing I do change is like popping up unannounced or just driving over.
Somebody would pop up unannounced.
As a friend for me, like to my sister, I just show up. Because she does that shit to me. So I just show up if I'm on that side of town. I do text her from the driveway, like open the door. But I don't say like, oh, I'll be there Tuesday at 6:45. I don't make an appointment. I'm on this side of town. I left IKEA. I'm going to swing by. I need to pee. And I want to say hello and maybe make a sandwich. And then we're going to leave. So I just never think you should switch up what type of friend you are. So whatever relationship or consistency you guys had before, I would keep it. And I would keep the door open. And maybe instead of, she said she doesn't want it to feel like an attack. Like Carla said, maybe throw a Friendsgiving, maybe throw a girls' night. You don't have to go anywhere, not a lot of money. Everyone show up in pajamas with some wine. You watch a good movie, and then you guys can kind of, hey, what have you been up to lately?
Right.
How are the kids doing to this one? Or who's already started Christmas shopping? Just light topics, see how they react, see if they openly open up to you. But I do think that it's someone's choice to tell you if something bad is going on. Yeah. It's not your job to snoop or zoom in on the pictures to see that something was broken in the background. You have to give people the right to open up to you. You can still zoom.
I'm not going to say nothing.
Don't tell them you zoomed. And don't say, ooh, I saw this in the background. And that's not what the caption said. The caption said
they're happy
Halloween, and you zoomed in to see her hairbrush was broken. That wasn't for you. She meant to crop it out. But I do say stay consistent, meaning talking and texting and keeping the communications open. But I think everyone's breaking point is different. I can't tell you when to leave your man or when to get with a man. All I can do is be a consistent friend with you and hope that you feel safe with me enough to tell me what's going on.
A good friend creates a safe space.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't have to be there all the time or say, you don't have to talk to me all the time. Yeah. But just be a safe space for me to fall in, and everyone has their own journey.
Yep.
Everybody has their own journey. You do have a question from some of your followers that want to know. This is Maximedium, something like that. It says, I find my wife jumping from major to major, never sticking to one. What can I do to help her?
Damn. I find my wife switching from major to major, which means she's still in school.
Right. It seems like she's just trying to find something to fall into, and it's like not finding a passion in anything, just trying things. And
first, I would be very concerned of the debt, of the student loan debt, of switching major to major to major to major and not finishing, and just accumulating like law on top of dentistry, on top of accounting, on top of
psychology.
Yeah. Finances wise, that would be a great way to open it up, to say, hey, this is kind of where we're at. I want to know, what your passion is. I also think that it's very important, especially if she has kids, to like maybe school's the only time she gets a break. I remember going to school when my kids were young, and that was the only time I felt normal. I was in a classroom full of adults, and no one had kids, and it was only 2 to 3 hours, but I had peace there. I didn't really consider or take into consideration the financial obligations until after graduation. But I guess if that's your wife, which means that's your partner, that's someone you've taken vows to, I don't think that you should sit on it or let it fester. I definitely think maybe in the evening or after you put your kids to bed or no kids or after you have dinner, I'd really set aside a safe space and ask, hey, what are your interests looking like lately? How is school going? Maybe she gets to the point that she's not a good test taker. So she gets anxiety and freaks out and just switches to something else. So it could be other issues besides just the school. And
that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, there's always other ways for you to tell if you like something or not. Like you can always take an accounting course instead of getting a degree. And the courses are like $60 or free on Google Teach and all those things. You can always do like, and there's hundreds of people on YouTube in all different career fields. I would sit down and learn about it first and do it with her. Maybe make her feel like she's not doing it alone or walking alone or, you know, what her goals are. But there's always little avenues that you can like tiptoe or peek in the window of a career before you set your feet into it and in your pockets and your wallet into it. I would give it a test drive first. And
this could also be an identity crisis.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If she can't figure out who she is or what she wants or where she feels safe, that's why he has to open up that safe space for her and not feel frustrated that she hasn't found her footing. She could be jealous of him. If he's in a career that's making big money and she feels like she's an enabler or she's like someone who's incompetent to provide financially or as a mother or other things, if she's trying to find her way and school is her way of finding it, she could choose crack. So I would choose her choosing majors over picking up drugs.
I don't know. Sometimes school is expensive. Crack might be cheaper.
Yeah. The mental outcome is completely different.
And crackheads stay together forever.
No.
Okay, sorry.
I would just say just support her and walk with her and not make her feel like she's doing it alone. True. And I would stop saying that she's hopping from back and forth like as if she's indecisive. She may just be lost.
Very much so. Therapy too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes your partner, the person closest to you is the one you treat the worst.
Right.
Sometimes.
We overlook how we treat them easily.
So maybe a therapist could definitely help in that aspect.
I agree.
I'll ask you one more so you can go into your last one. And it's, if you could change 2 things or actions from the past and present, what would they be?
Past and present.
Past or present. If you could change 2 things or actions.
The present, we just moved. I haven't been there too long to change it. So I hope this goes well to you guys and God. But the past that I would change, I think I should have thugged it out as a mom and kept my apartment. I think that my relationship with my parents would be a lot better. Not saying that it would be perfect, but I do think that some situations do better with distance in between, multiple miles in between. You don't have to be in another state, but being out from under the same roof and under someone's finger of constantly critiquing what you're doing wrong, where you should be, how did you do this, why haven't you done your laundry yet, the endless list that's already running through my head. I didn't need another voice to read it out loud. I do think I should have sucked my shit up and done it at home. I think at that time, I know for certain I was broken mentally. I was pregnant with my 5th child. COVID was happening. I had just filed for my permanent restraining order, so I had the courts on my back. One of my other children's fathers had just gone to jail, so that income had stopped, and my jobs weren't consistent because I was working in a field at the time that was impacted with the COVID. There was a lot of people involved, so that was always up and down. The hours were up and down. The schools were closing. I just panicked. My parents were like, "Oh, we're moving back to Florida. Maybe we should all get a house together." And I just looked at that
Where were they?
My dad lived on the other side of Orlando, so he was here, but my mom was coming back from New Jersey.
Gotcha.
So my mom had moved out of state. She had got a government contract job, and that's where the training hub was at that time. So she had done a year and 2 years there until she could station back in Florida, and then they would get a place together. But my lease was ending around the same time they were moving back, so we chose to get a house together.
Yeah, distance does help sometimes.
Yeah. I know it helped. It is completely different. And now I feel like my kids are of the age that they get to judge the situation for themselves and have their own feelings. It's not something I can say, oh, she's only 5, in 3 years she'll forget about it. No. They're a lot older. And unfortunately, now they get to choose to hold a grudge or let it go for themselves. That's not something I can control anymore. I know Owen will forget.
Right.
But I mean, Andre's 16 next month. Everyone else has made their own decisions and was able to take how they feel on their own, and that's not something I can fix.
At least you give them the autonomy to be able to feel.
Oh yeah,
and deal with those emotions.
Yeah, that's not something I can control, and they deserve to feel safe and comfortable around whoever that is, whether it's a friend, a family member. If they don't want to go, we don't have to go, and I don't make my kids have relationships with people just because I feel indifferent.
Right, that's a good one.
So that's where we are. So past I would change was I should have just tried my best or tried a little harder. And I think that's hard to say too, because I feel like I was trying, but I just think giving up my own place was a big mistake for myself. All right. So we're going to jump into the last part of this episode, which is It's Above Me.
Do something different. That's an old one.
Oh.
Unless you want to do that one. We had that one from last time.
No, I'll do it different. It's above me. Okay, so in It's Above Me situation that I have right now is we're currently moving. And the It's Above Me part is just, moving is a bitch. Getting everything you own in a box to put it somewhere else and then open that box and put it up. The way it made me shave how much stuff I have was insane.
But it's like it sucks.
Is it normal,
and it's
though?
Ghetto, but I think that it also helps get rid of things because we don't get rid of things.
But I always say, I'm spring cleaning, I'm purging. The amount of stuff I've shed in 72 hours is insane.
But it's going to feel so good when you have so much less stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe look for that. But moving is just stressful regard. Like the fact that you're here right now, y'all better be grateful. If you have not left a review on this good podcast.
I got dressed out of a bucket in a garbage bag this morning.
And look at that. Best garbage bag we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. No, you still made it. So I think it's hard. Yeah. But I love when there's no clutter. And I can open a drawer and when it was packed and there's nothing in there. Oh, I love that feeling. So even just maybe focus on that. Yeah. But it is ghetto. And it's ghetto when no one's helping. Mm-hmm. And they're seeing you do it all on your own. And it's like, do you not see me doing this? Because when I moved back from Jersey, he didn't help at all. Yeah. And it was and I was only there for a year. Packing up all these little trinkets and the cables and toys and little clothes and the kitchen. Insane. Kitchen stuff is disgusting to pack. Yep. It doesn't fit right in the box. Mm-hmm. So where do you put it?
We had nothing. I had to get thank you so much to everyone who's on my subscriber tab on Instagram that took the time out of your life during your holiday season and took the time to send us plates, cups, forks, a bath rug, blankets for my kid's bed. I am insane. The amount of things that people were willing to help and shower and bless my kids with just to make sure that I had some money left over to still give them a Christmas next month. A thank you is not good enough. I promise you. I don't know if I'm going to do a big giveaway on here or on my Instagram. I'm definitely going to do something because the way you guys showed love on little things, I don't think you know how much a plunger means for 5 kids that use the same bathroom when you don't have one. How much a broom means when you don't have one. When you move into an empty house full of tile, by day 2, moving in and out, it was filled of the little dust and sand and we didn't have a broom. A lot of the things are my parents. So when we moved from our apartment, I kind of get rid of everything that was personal to me, kitchen and cleaning wise, because they had their own. So yeah, I'm really and keep your credit up and keep budgeting and financing because Duke, Tico Gas, the cable people, AT&T,
when they ask for those
the
deposits?
Water, the deposits. They do a soft check so it doesn't hit you as an inquiry. It doesn't ding to lower your score. But they damn sure look at your credit to see if you would owe a deposit. And if I wasn't on top of my credit and on top of my budgeting, it was over $1,000. If I got hit with everyone's deposit or holding fee, it was over $1,000 just to get the lights on.
That's why my baby daddy ain't got his name.
No. You better fix your credit and hold it good because they're looking in all aspects, not just to lend you credit or money. Yeah. But that's my It's Above Me for today's episode, only because I'm in the thick of it. Me and all my kids, the only thing that's out on our counters is a toothbrush and a cup. Everything else is in a garbage bag. But it's a good season. I feel like it's a good new start before the new year. I'm trying to just focus on it in a positive way if I can. But there's no nice way to say that moving is not easy.
It's not.
It's not.
But It'll be worth it.
Yes. I thank you so much for being on here today with me.
you.
Again, this is Carla. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Carla Wilmaris on all platforms. We'll tag it at the bottom of here. We'll make sure they do that. The podcast is Pivot with Purpose.
Yes.
Everywhere you listen to podcasts, including YouTube. I still keep that up just as a relatability to my clients,
right,
to myself. And it's kind of like a spoken journal in a way.
It is.
Even if I get dragged at times, it's fine. Oh, losers. Not y'all, the other ones. And then, yeah, that's it. If you're looking to start a podcast, hit me up.
Yes.
Let me know. You can go to ideatolaunchpodcast.com. You can do it on your own. You have time or money to have something for everyone. From you can do it on your own to where we can do it all for you. So schedule a clarity call. It's like $20. I do that because you're not going to waste my time. I want to make sure you show up. And that's it. We'll keep bringing you another episode and more episodes of This Too Shall Pass.
Yes. Check her out, whether that is personally or in a business standpoint. She is great. I really appreciate you guys hanging in with us, like I said, through the break and our little gap in time. Just want to let you know that it's okay to feel down. Just don't stay down. Keep going. Keep your head up. I love you. And I appreciate you guys listening to This Too Shall Pass. Leave us a comment, 5-star review, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you follow the show for weekly episodes wherever podcasts are found so you don't miss an episode. I'll see you next week.